made it, disc golf fans, to the finals. The 2023 Disc Golf Pro Tour Championships. It's down to these final 4 players, these final 18 holes. This event has been presented by Discraft. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters for making this possible. My name is Chris German. We have Derek Skoll in the booth for the final time for the Swedish Disc Golf Pro Tour. And thank you to all of these amazing sponsors we had all year long. How you doing?
Doing great, and I'm very excited to jump into the final round here with our top 4. Fritiof yesterday with a hot 10 down. Really great to see it. Some familiar faces for the rest of the card as well. Hole 1 is the par 4 to start at 673 feet, 205 meters. Name of the game, if you're a righty, just standard hyzer, land in the middle, just to make your approach into that treacherous green as safe as possible.
Yeah, Fritiof and Ljungqvist both played 2 rounds yesterday in the two-a-days. They made it from the first round. They were in the top 4. Made it in the semifinals to this finals. So, like you said, a very hot round, a 10 down, the best round posted all weekend. Slight right to left. This first hole has posed some problems. We've seen some OB from people off the drive and to the green.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is if you're really just trying to bite off more of it than you really should, you're throwing harder or getting a little more risky because there is the OB far to the right, as well as all along the side of the left. So really, like I said, name of the game is just a standard shot. Play it for what it is.
Ljungqvist, Team Clash and Team Nordic player, does exactly what you're saying. Puts it right in the middle.
Because really, it's not, you're not going to do yourself that much better if you're pushing, an extra 50 feet or whatever. Your approach into the green is kind of going to be the same.
Elvis, Eriksson, Sveiven. Saw him in round 2. Saw him all year long, actually. See that OB over there.
That's very, very close.
Yeah, it might be a weird angle into the green. We'll see.
And maybe he was going for like a flex line, knowing that there was a tailwind here to kind of stable something up a little bit more.
And then Gustav Dahlén. He has been up at the top all year long. He was the points leader from the 2023 Swedish Disc Golf Pro Tour. And showing reasons why here. He pushes that extra feet and does it comfortably. Little short, so close, and he stays in.
And giving himself an somewhat uphill putt away from the danger, he's going to really like that.
It's so awesome to see both Fritiof and Jim here in these finals with some other really big name players not showing up the second round to who you would expect to kind of be in these finals. So, I mean, it's anyone's shot now. It's just one round, and whoever can put up the best round is going to walk away the winner.
That looks like it's cutting a little too close. It's hard to tell. I think he is safe.
He stays in, yeah. Looks like it pushes once you go past the green there. That was a weird wind bounce, but it worked for him. Gustav going to have to settle for the par.
Cutting it close there from the cage, but able to connect for the 3.
Elvis in as well. Elvis has a great game, great forehand, great backhand power, very good putter. And Fritiof in as well. So 3 birdies for the card, and Gustav with the only par. So it's going to set us up for hole 2, the first par 3, 107 meters, 351 feet. We have OB over to the right, low ceiling. Then you have these guardian trees here at the end. I would say the play is to kind of just throw a hyzer shot and land to the left. Give yourself maybe a circle's edge, circle 2 look for birdie. Go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to say, comment on the hole itself, but I'm spacing on the name of the course, but it was coverage in Sweden that we've had earlier this year with Scott Stokely. The same shape and green style, I think, reminds me of
look
that.
At
So,
that.
as a reminder, if you missed any of the other Swedish Disc Golf Pro Tour events that we've covered all year, head on over to the playlist and help fill out a little bit of your off-season content viewing.
Yeah, the Allen Open was the one with Scott. We had some great ones with James Proctor, Eric Oakley as well. So cool to see the Americans over here competing. But it's all about the locals now, and these guys are showing us why they should be here.
Couldn't have been any better of an approach.
Yeah, Gustav going par. Elvis hitting early. This is kind of what I was referring to in the whole flyover, is you kind of just want to get down here to the hillside, give yourself about a circle edge look. Fritiof unable to capitalize.
Yeah, and at this point, Fritiof knows this course very well, knows what kind of numbers he can put up, so even par is going to have some frustration sink in for him sometimes.
Yeah, 25% of the field birdied this hole. We just saw that happen. This is it. Fritiof still having fun, though.
Hole 3, par 3, 348 foot, 106 meter. Pretty tight coming off the tee. Really, you just want to navigate past. I mean, honestly, it's reachable. Fully gettable there with a forehand. A little flex right through the middle. Might be a tad high.
Yeah, I really like this hole coming after hole 2. I think it's a really good compliment. Makes you throw a completely different shot. It's around the same distance.
Yeah, it is kind of the inverse of the previous. That's a good call.
Fritiof getting about circle 2. That's kind of the theme of this course is if you hit the initial gap, you're usually giving yourself a look for birdie. As we see there from Elvis. Just not coming out of the hand the best right now for Gustav. He's kind of missing his lines on all 3 holes so far.
Solid connection from Elvis. And the wind really has not let up all weekend.
Yeah. Gusty winds, too. Fritiof's able to save his par.
At Discraft, we don't wait to see what the future holds. We build it. The future is in your hands.
hole 4, the second par 4 of the course, 604 feet, 184 meters. This hole's really interesting. It kind of is straight the entire way, but it has this really cool serpentine shape to it. Green is over there to the right on your second shot, but you kind of want to get out to the right on your first, it seems. A lot of players like to go with this forehand. Get to the right of that little tree there.
Yeah, it's very deceiving from the tee. I think some of that course knowledge is really coming into play for these local guys.
Should be interesting over there. We'll see what his look is going to be. But that's the risk that kind of happens. That's why we're seeing another player go with the forehand. You kind of want the disc to just finish to the right. It sets up and opens up the fairway a little more for you. Gustav
Nice.
ripping on this one. Almost hits the little tree.
Really great example of a flex forehand. Just very subtle, moving, carrying more distance.
Yim's going to have a long look for birdie. Looks like he was able to get forward progress.
All right,
That works.
He's got himself a putt. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost a forehand hole. Really sets up for it when you
Elvis
open up that fairway.
Yeah, Elvis comes up a little short. Oh, man.
That was going to be right under the basket.
Yeah, without that post there, money.
Yeah, you really want to anticipate the skip and the flare on this one. Yim got pretty far down there. Yeah, I did not know he was this close to the edge of circle. You can see the wind in the background. Really poses a threat for this putting.
You saw the focus in Fritiof's face. He's really trying to get back here on the birdie train.
Gustav still sitting on the pars. It's a 4-pack of pars.
Yeah, and there are no other cards to keep track of. Like, you know everyone's score, so it's you're living it in the moment. Hole 5, another par 3. We have this ditch here right near the green that is OB. We've been seeing some challenge all weekend on this hole. It really should be, a putter, mid-range, stock shot here. Pretty much just like this. That's actually going to go a little too far.
Yeah, wow.
That is the furthest drive we've seen on this all week.
Fritiof going with the flex shot, something overstable, and this works out as well. I mean, if you go to the left of the bridge, you're still putting. It's not like you're in danger or anything.
It's actually kind of a lateral, like level, grounded putt from that side from what it looks like.
Yeah, and it allows you to kind of miss your line a little more, where if you try to go a little too far to the right, the tree comes into play. Yeah. It's going to be an interesting look with the bridge there in front of him.
Yep, overstable.
Over a bridge and through some trees.
Just didn't have quite enough on it.
Elvis maybe 13 meters or so. Hits the top. Unable to capitalize on the birdie. And this is one you want to get. So this is a good scoring separator hole. Team is in. Stop. Moving into hole 6, 420 feet, par 4. We're going to go uphill here. Really want to keep it on the fairway. If not, you're pitching out. Your second shot, you have a couple guardian trees you have to miss. A couple trees up in the green, but the basket finishes over there to the right.
Kind of hard to tell where that went.
Yeah, that might be in a pitch out range. Yim not in the best spot either.
And that should be
Looking
great.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, this hole, as we've been saying all weekend, is that, you know, it looks a lot more daunting than it is, because really it's just about placement, even though it's super high elevation. And it's kind of a contrast to the previous hole, where one would expect that to play easier, when in reality it plays harder than it looks.
Yeah, Yim's going to have a tough look for par. Fritiof just needs to pitch out. As well, Gustav.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Time to get on the board. Just going to be able to erase that bogey now. Elvis going a little long. Not the first time we've seen that this round from him. Big putt for Fritiof here.
He knew immediately that that was not the putting stroke that he needed for that shot.
Yeah, and just giving yourself to even have that putt, you got to be frustrated. You want to be right under the basket. Speed control comes into play in some of these holes, especially with the greens. So, a couple bogeys on this hole. So Gustav, after taking a series of pars and then a bogey, finally gets on the board. A lot of strokes.
Downhill par 3 coming in for our hole 7, 269 foot, 82 meter, tight all the way, severe drop off behind there. Speed control, as you said it, name of the game. Got to hit your line too.
Not terrible at all.
It's tough to see. That one Looks like it got pretty far down the fairway. Elvis missing his line there.
Game of inches.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's the shot. Stay up. Oh. That was so close to greatness. It's a tough little hole here. We've definitely seen our players
Going
struggle.
right
We've
for
seen
that.
this as well.
Yeah.
Once or twice. Fritiof's going to kind of end in that funnel zone there.
Yeah, that's kind of the risk you run, taking the higher route. But if you try to keep it too low, there's a lot in the fairway to hit, like that rock and, a lot of these roots and things like that. So really just dead straight right in the middle.
Oh, good little bid there. Needs to stay up on the hill. This is a big putt for Gustav.
Oh, yeah.
Great putt from Elvis as well. And Fritiof not able to get the birdie from down there. It's usually a tough look from down there. Yim with the good par save. Same with Fritiof as we move into hole 8, another 400-foot, 127-meter par 4. This one's interesting. It's, again, kind of straight, but it has a little bit of a drift to the right on the fairway. The actual fairway, though, sloping really hard to the left. So we're going to see a lot of shots that are going to try to finish maybe against the hillside or with it, depending. Wow, we haven't seen anyone up there.
Yeah, you really want to match the angle of the hillside for the shot. That helps mitigate any type of unpredictable movement.
As we see a bunch of people going forehand, you do not want to head down to the left. So that's pretty textbook. That's all you got to do. So we see 4 for 4 with the forehands.
And that's completely taking out that left side you're talking about.
This is such a tough shot. You have a little patent pending, righty backhand on a hillside that goes to the left. Pretty good overall, I would say, from there. Again, that's just such a tough shot.
Oh, boy.
Great shot from Fritiof. That needs to slow down. It does. Wow. Yeah, Gustav is in such an interesting spot. He needs to throw this little hyzer forehand.
I'm not really sure that was such a terrible spot either. I mean, it was kind of blind, but clean line overall.
Elvis giving that one a great bid. Yeah, not a bad spot for Gustav. He's
Turkey.
rattled off. Yeah, I was about to say 3 in a row, turkey. And that's why he's been the number 1 for most of the year. He come in and he shows right there in the blink of an eye. He's now in the lead.
are rounding out our front nine with this par 3, 266 foot, 81 meter, throw what you know. Standard, low speed, hyzer to hyzer flip shot straight up. We have seen the left gap on occasion. That was a shot that may not have known what line it wanted to go.
Wow, what a tree kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, the left line's good if you don't want that tree on the right to come into play. Fritiof catching one of those trees on the right. He'll have a circle 2 look.
And this is looking great. Oh,
Your tactic ain't tacticking. No.
the first Guardian.
Elvis has taken a couple bogeys in a row. I was going to say we needs to get a birdie.
That second tree hit kept him in the fairway.
Oh,
Exactly what we needed to see.
Fritiof with the Gatekeeper rewind. That is a way to get you started to go into this back nine on Championship Sunday.
I'm loving these Swedish Gatekeeper rewinds.
Oh, this long look as well.
Oh, just a little low.
Dang. See if Yim can match Fritiof. So Fritiof taking a stroke from the card. Such a big putt there. It's great to see. Gets him back under par for the round as well. So it is still very, very close and still anyone's match here. We're going to take a look at these final player scores. We have 9 holes remaining. Wow, what an exciting final 18 holes. I can't wait to watch this final 9 unfold.
Yeah, still a tight race. Looking forward, still a lot of golf left to play and a lot of holes that could be anyone's game, So special shout out to all of the tour partners for the Swedish Disc Golf Pro Tour, and a huge shout out to all of our Patreon subscribers. Without both of those entities, we could not make these videos. So we appreciate every bit of the support. Thank you, and we'll see you on the back nine.